Gaming.
We're starting.
Podcast. We're starting.
Right. Welcome to the Soiled Shorts podcast.
Anyway.
Soiled Shorts podcast.
So anyway, our general topic for this one is just for this first episode is just going to be gaming because we're literally just a gaming podcast.
That's the
Exactly. we are terrible at actually doing anything. This is literally the most fucking freelance thing we could ever do. So, do we just want to go down the list?
I would love to go down the list.
Our very first question, because we had ourselves come up with questions before we ever even started this. So the very first one is from Sean, and all it says is self-insert or pre.
Someone open my document.
I don't fucking know.
Hey, bro. Okay. You brought down 5.
I brought down 5.
He brought down 5. I still hit 2. He still hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mine now, bitch. All right. Our first question is from Sean, and it says, is self-insert or predefined protagonist? I think this mostly applies to RPGs.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to go into our RPGs. It's really just any game. Or should we introduce ourselves to the viewers podcast?
No.
Caesar.
No. Doesn't matter.
Evan.
Zach.
Sean, Scott, Joe. And Zach. Zach is the one playing and not acting. You can see a video game playing in that corner right over there. Yeah. He is too absorbed to actually be part of this.
I'm frequently referred to as the Antichrist.
This podcast is happening in the mother's basement.
It really is. But
That's the YouTube channel.
Now, who's about that's for you to find out.
That's true. So
Is Isaac
when
down
so elaborate a little bit more on what you mean. Like you mean like just an RPG?
Okay, so basically, it's just it's the fact that there are a lot of self-inserts that don't have any character, and you have to inflict yourselves upon them.
Violet.
Like let's say, for example, 3 Houses. There's Violet. She's a piece of card.
Yeah.
She is supposed to be used to impose your character on them. But then there are other characters like I'm playing Halo. I'm not Halo,
Master
for example. Not Master Chief. Master Chief is predefined as
Yes.
he is a stoic badass. His whole personality is that he's silent.
Good
But
job, gamer.
I'm talking about Modern Warfare. You play as 2 guys, Roach and Ramirez. We're just guys that you play as and have a name. That's all it is. You have no predefined background at all. But you play as them, and Roach, whenever he spoiler, but the game's over 10 years old. But Roach gets fucking shot. He gets betrayed by.
He gets shot.
He gets betrayed by an ally, but for a reason you don't know this character at all. You've been playing as him. Yeah, you feel just as much pain as you would when the named character gets shot right next to you too. So it's really just it's one of those self-reflecting characters that you get to enjoy yourself because you get to inflict your own personality on. Then there are predefined characters there's Arthur Morgan and all stuff from RDR2. There's Rex, Pyra, and the gang, which are predefined MCs that you know the story of. And really, I want to know which one do you guys enjoy more? To be honest.
I've heard the argument before that self-inserts are actually just a lazy example of writing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I think it all depends on what the game developer wants you to feel. To be honest, let's take Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is some games aren't self-insert.
3 Houses specifically, you mean?
Yeah, well, I think for sure Corrin actually has a backstory. Corrin is actually a sort of predefined character.
Yes, Robin and Corrin are avatars that you can customize, but they are largely their own characters.
Yeah, and then there's Violet. The only thing you know is that her mom, her mom was just dead before the story even began. The dad was cool until he died, and it wasn't even character development. The dad just straight up died.
True.
Your character would probably shed a tear. That's about
really
it.
bad at this.
So, that, when it comes to the stuff like Violet and stuff, what's really cool about self-inserts, though, is that the fandom gives them their own personality, which I find very, very funny.
That's true.
Violet, her personality that I've gathered, she's a glutton. She's a dad who likes fishing. And because I've seen the one shirt. It's of course I come fast. I gotta go fishing. And all stuff. It's women love me, fish fear me.
Yeah.
And that's her whole character. She's a glutton who likes to fish. And I think women fear me. That's really funny because nothing about in the game actually gives hints that she likes fishing. You fish yourself.
It's just defined by the
and that really just gives a lot of creativity to the community to inflict their own personality on
women,
which I enjoy.
They should have fishing.
But personally, I think I enjoy a predefined character more. personally, out of all most of the games I enjoy PewDiePie.
I'm inclined to agree because, like I said before, it could easily be seen that self-insert is kind of like lazy writing and it's not really something that works. But it also just depends on the genre, I think, to an extent.
Mhm.
Like in an RPG, it doesn't work as well because, like, Fire Emblem has like a self-insert. Since we're using the example of Byleth, we use Byleth as like a story device, but at the same time, it's not completely about that story. It's also just a lot about like around the grid-based tactic gameplay, and that's kind of what carries it forward. Whereas with some other RPGs, like combat might be less of a priority, and it's more about the story that it's telling. Whereas Three Houses has like a pretty good balance of both of those.
Yeah. Think about like when it comes to some self-inserts, like I'm gonna take Mass Effect, one of the best RPGs of all time. And basically, what happens is that you create your character, but you have dialogue trees, and you create your personality as you progress through the game.
Wait, did you just make
There are two different dialogue choices. There are three dialogue choices: one neutral, one paragon, which is like good cop, and one renegade, which is bad cop. And you develop
Catherine,
Go
on.
You develop your personality by certain choices you make, certain quick time events that makes you like shoot this one guy, like a quick time event, or that's a renegade move. And you develop your personality, and with that personality, you get reputation throughout the galaxy. You get to do certain things, and you can access different dialogue trees that you would be able to do if you went
Bottom right corner of that room.
Detroit.
God fucking fuck you.
I think that self-insert protagonists are bad whenever the choices that you make don't affect your character.
I do agree.
Such as Joker from Persona 5.
That's true.
I lost.
Another example.
I hate it.
Another.
We're not sorry.
The audience, you just lost.
Another example that I
Look
think.
at the game on Wikipedia.
Another example
You'll
that
cry.
I think of that comes to mind is actually a game that's also made by Atlas. It's a bit old, but it's called what I should call it, Captain Full Body.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
Where the character is like clearly defined, like as a character, like who they are, what they think, their world, all that.
Zach, you're
But it's still
Shut up.
it has the defined personality, but at the same time, your decisions do affect how the game ends. Whether you end up with Catherine with a C or Catherine with a K. One of which is like a stuck up, boring adult, and one of them is a fucking demon girl that like sleeps with all the other men.
Another one's crap. There's Rui.
I think that the longer a game is, the more self-insert is rather than predetermined. Because in a very long game, if you get a predetermined character that you don't like personality of, you're going to hate every second of it.
Actually, true.
Like me with Rex.
Yeah,
Xenoblade Chronicles
that is
2.
very much true.
I despise
Dashness.
Rex, and that's part of the reason why I just go and play the game. I
Yeah,
hate it.
but also I do feel like having a self-insert character really makes the side character shine more. It really does. Like you don't focus on your own character, you focus on everybody around you.
That's
and
true.
They help mold the character you want to be. And I really enjoy that.
I agree. That's probably a better way to like just build the world that's going on around you, which is
You are you. As if you were thrust onto the world.
you are
blind.
observing the world through basically your own eyes, which I find very interesting. So I don't think it's a matter of one or the other. I just think it's a matter of what happens based on each player's experience and what kind of game it is in general.
I think that the best self-insert character will always be better than the best predetermined character.
I mean, because like I said, dialogue trees will really make or break predetermined characters. I mean, not predetermined, but self-insert. Yeah.
I'm out of fucking.
But then there are like some characters that there are some characters that almost seem like self-inserts. Like I feel like Master Chief when he first started the game, he felt like a self-insert. There's no lore behind him. You're a big green guy killing things. I feel like the same way.
You mean Shrek?
No.
Okay, I'm trying to make sure, 'cause, like they both are stoic. They don't talk at all. Like recently in all the Halo trilogies, Master Chief never talked.
Bear in mind that the first Metro was made on the NES when all they had were actual like text and it's poorly translated text like that.
Yeah. When it comes to like Master Chief, throughout the years when they had him in the games, they tried to develop him as a human. They made him talk a lot more. He's a lot more dialogue choices, a lot more friends, and I feel like that really made him into a predetermined character. That's really interesting to think about.
Okay.
So yeah.
Does anyone else have any thoughts on
Not on predetermined self. I'm done.
Yeah, it's just more of the same if you want to ask me.
No. The next
Incorrect.
Invalid
Moving
opinion.
on.
All right, the next one's from Troy, and it says gacha games are they really a problem? We're not going to answer that because Troy's not here, and he's the only person that would say they might not be a problem.
Well, no,
no. Listen,
True, Sean.
I have a justification.
There is no justification.
FGO,
What is your answer?
I think we should save. I actually think we should save this for when Troy is actually here because this is something that I think him and Troy and Sean would talk about him a lot better.
They're a problem.
they're predatory. I will
You
admit that.
suck.
They're predatory.
All right, moving on. The next question is from me. And what is the value of 2D games in a 3D dominated environment?
I think 2D games really bring a sense of nostalgia,
Mm.
just to everything that you do.
Nostalgia.
But nostalgia and the fact that the primitiveness is it really makes everything feel a lot more older, but also it makes it more simple. Like I must say, like 2D horror games, like horror games that are 2D, can really strike a sense of fear that 3D could. To be honest, like I don't know if you guys watched all those horror games, where everything is pixelated as hell. But it's like 3D. It's all bad graphics, but the bad graphics really make the aesthetic and scare the hell out of you.
Okay.
Like I feel like there are a lot of games where like you don't know what you're looking at, and that's what's scary. Is that what the hell is that in the distance? I see the faint figure, but what the hell is that in the distance?
Well, yeah, because normally people would associate like bad graphics with like run down like equipment or something. So that would initially like help help bring out the horror of the game.
Yeah, but like
Okay, let me.
actually, I think we're going off topic. I'm talking about low poly graphics.
I
You
think
are. and I
that,
think that's very different.
I feel like third-person 3D games are really hard to pull off well.
You mean like Shadow of the Colossus, perhaps? Like that's a game where you are in.
I don't think they're going to pull those. It's that they're oversaturated. The market's oversaturated. There are too many of them.
It's also a game with self-insert character.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Well, I feel like, at least for me personally, I feel like it's really hard for me to play like a third-person 3D game and like.
what about a first person one?
Well, I feel like for me for the 3D ones, it's always like I feel like the camera is never
Where you want it?
where
It
I
never
want it
makes
to
good
be.
camera.
Like first person 30 is perfectly fine.
Like they
Well,
have to match.
Like
the-
whenever you play like a cover-based shooter, like you play Gears of War, you play Uncharted, the camera does get a little wonky. But then I feel like I don't know. I don't play a lot of 2D games.
Mhm.
I play Cuphead and all stuff. And I do feel like when it comes to like I play River City Girls,
And you
my frustrating River City Girls is the depth. I think about 3D worlds that you know the depth, you know where they are in the space. 2D world, I find it really hard to find out line myself up with a person in that row. That's what frustrates me about 2D games.
I think that it's kind of like the thing of if we already have like Americanized food, why would you want to serve Chinese food? Just a different aesthetic for different people. Some people
Yeah.
just never like a 3D game. They just like the art style.
Yeah, some of them just won't handle it. Like my mother, she's very like rigid in her gaming experience. Like she played like the first three Marios. I give her a Super Nintendo controller that has like 2 more buttons than her, or 4 more of the triggers that don't actually do anything in Super Mario World. She can't fucking grasp it for the life of her. She doesn't understand. There's just some things that like other people will not understand.
And then,
Yes,
and
but
then people like my dad. He's been through all the generations.
Yeah.
He's found both.
exactly. And then like my best friend from like 3rd grade, he had like a dad that loved the GameCube. He like played, I think he played like fucking golf games on it, but still like he understood it better.
Mhm.
Like he had more like adaptive like style. Good job, Zach.
Is that your first series? Good job.
But one thing that I think I don't really agree with you on is how it's nostalgic. Like I think there are plenty of 2D games that have nothing to do with nostalgia, and they kind of like they grab the player based on their own merits. Like you just play Dread, and I wouldn't say that that's nostalgic in the slightest. I think that that's a really good experience for even the time. Like it's good like in modern terms, and it's not just like something that's dated to 2D.
Well, I feel like Metroid Dread is not 2D. It's 3D side scroller. When I think of 2D, when I think of 2D, I think of Super Mario.
Okay,
The first thing I think of.
Okay,
Super Mario.
when I
That would be like
think
pixelated rather than 2-dimensional.
that's what Octopath.
I think it's flat.
What do you think about Octopath Traveler? Because I think we just didn't define this well enough.
I didn't. What the hell is that game?
Triangle, Project
You know,
Triangle
Fire Ripple.
those games, Octopath Traveler and Project Triangle Strategy.
It's like grid-based 2D.
Yeah, like you know the art style, like it's all pixelated. It's like 2-dimensional like figures, but
Yeah.
but they're moving around like a 3D environment.
No.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah.
a Paper Mario.
Yeah, everything's flat.
Yeah.
You know, like
So what do you consider that?
to be honest, like it's a 3D game. It's a 3-dimensional environment. To be honest,
Right.
When I think of 2D like this,
Like I would consider that 2D.
Yeah.
I consider this side scroll before 2D. To be honest.
I consider it 2D because there
You
is
are-
no. If you
you are
hold
moving
up,
in-
you
you are-
just go forward.
You are moving in an X and Y direction. You are moving
There's
in an X
no
and Y
like.
axis. There
There's
is
no depth.
there is no
There's no-
axis.
I think it's the fact that I play so many games that are not 2D like this, where I kind of attribute 2D to like
Well, how many games do you play that have like an X and Y axis but no Z axis?
So do you consider 2D more of an art style than like
I personally think it's more of an art style, to be honest, because that's what I've been experienced with. Like I played Cuphead, River City Girls. That's all I can remember.
More like aesthetic.
Smash.
Games.
Yeah, Smash. Yeah, Smash. And it's cool. Because like when I think of Smash, the last thing that comes to mind is a 2D game. I think of it as a platform fighter. I think of it as 3-dimensional, and it's like art.
Yeah, it looks.
It's 3-dimensional. It's all character models are all 3-dimensional. So that's why I
Would you
think.
consider River City Girls completely 2D?
Yes, I would.
I don't
It
know.
is
I don't know.
flat pixelated
I haven't
movies.
played that. There is a Z-axis.
Does anyone else have like any input on it? Like 2D, like what is 2D gaming in like the modern landscape? Because I feel like no one else outside of like indie developers and Nintendo like even does 2D games. Yes.
I do agree. Yeah.
You have Mario. You have the new Super Mario Brothers series, which was bad, was oversaturated.
Yeah. I think it's because it's a whole lot more difficult to make that kind of like oomph and like epic feeling to a two-dimensional game like Metroid Dread. Because like we have a game like BioShock where you have this massive, expansive environments that you expect from a AAA game. You can have like really good trailer footage, but like for Metroid Dread, it's just a two-dimensional platform, so it's not like as epic as you would expect.
Follow
with a
the line.
game.
Did Kirby just like go into 3-dimensional?
Yes.
Now?
Kirby's upcoming
Kirby
game
went 3D.
is the very first 3-dimensional Kirby game.
And like I said, you feel like 3-dimensional is just so much hyper because it's just so much more you can.
It's more stuff.
Yeah, it's more stuff to look at, more eye candy.
3D games. Here's the thing. So 2D games used to be the way of things because that just used to be like limitations of the time. But like even after the fact, like it was very hard for a lot of games to transition into a 3D environment, and some of them just stayed in 2D.
So fucking clutch.
Good job. Because 3D games are also just harder to develop. Like imagine, for example, you have like a 3D landscape, then you have to like fill 3D games are so much harder to develop. So that's why why 2D games still had value for a long time. Like in mostly in portable games at the time. Like you think of Super Mario Land for the Game Boy as opposed to Super Mario 64. I lost my point.
The 3D game hard to make because you have to texture all the sides of the rock.
Correct. Basically. I don't know. I think.
I don't think. Right now, I feel like having 3D is like easy as hell. You have like all these edges now that can help run it so easily. You can just put in stuff from Unity and everything that's already pre-made. Boom, get yourself a 3D game.
Yeah.
But I feel like 2D, like try to transform Hollow Knight to a 3D landscape. You can't think of that anymore. It's just its whole aesthetic and gameplay is dependent on 2D because that's what it is. It is at heart a 2D game. When you take Halo, you can try, but it's not gonna feel like Halo. It's gonna feel like some indie game with a Halo aesthetic. So it's really just like I feel like it's really an aesthetic thing that transforms itself into gameplay.
I think 2D and 3D is a very important defining factor of any game. It's not something you ever think about when it comes to a game.
Yeah.
Unless it's marketed as a two-dimensional game or three-dimensional game.
Right.
Yeah, whenever I think of like I'm gonna build a game, I don't really think of the first thing I don't think of is 2D or 3D. I don't really that's not the first question that pops in my mind.
Yeah, it's more about the experience that you get once you're inside of it.
And then which 2D would complement that feeling the best.
I think 3D games gives like the game developers more room to do more technical and gameplay oriented things other than a 3D game, and because they don't have to develop so much of the map around it.
Yeah, I agree.
That was another thing. 2D games tend to be more linear in at least traditionally because the developers could orient the path because they knew the player would take it. They can't move in like a 3-dimensional environment. With like say you look at Super Mario 3D or you look at Super Mario World, it's get to the finish line as fast as you can. With Super Mario 64, it's not that way. There's a whole like wide expanse to like explore, and there are like 6-7 stars to get in each world that the developers they just had to kind of put it out there, and the player would find it on their own rather than the developers guiding them as much.
Yeah, a lot more creative freedom through 3D worlds.
And there's a lot less just developer intent, I guess.
Although there are still some 2D games where you can make them semi-open world, like games like Celeste.
That's
Hollow Knight.
Metroidvanias.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
I think
so. Secrets aren't just exclusive to 3D, but they are easier to do in 3D environment.
Sure. One more thing I want to explore with this topic is I think at the time, and I watched Scott the Waz kind of explain it, so this isn't really fully my opinion, or I guess like my original thoughts. But for a while, 2D was seen as like a thing of the past or something that was like relegated to handhelds because, like I said, it's easier to develop and it kind of like lost value. Like if you remember the N64, the PlayStation, what else was there? Like the fucking Dreamcast, the Saturn. Like there was almost like no 2D games on the platform basically because everyone thought the 3D would just be like the new way.
The market was shift.
Yeah, but I think now we've gotten to a landscape where we realize that
We appreciate that.
2D games and 3D games can coexist, and it's not like one has any inherent less value on the other. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, well, like I said, it's just 3D is really just a thing that complements the gameplay. To be honest,
It doesn't have to be like a defining aspect.
Yeah,
Do
no
you
problem.
guys think that top downs classify as 2D games?
Yes.
Like Enter the Gungeon.
Like Enter the Gungeon, like The Binding of Isaac, and like the original Legend of Zelda.
Well, bringing that into the topic, like where would you draw the line between a 2D game, a 3D game, and a 2.5D game?
2.5.
2.5D, I think, is better to describe River City Girls.
Yeah, I guess like a beat 'em up. I guess like the River City.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
2.5D games
Yeah,
are like you mean like beat 'em ups? Like I think of Golden Axe. Do you guys know what
I
that
just
is?
don't know about it.
Golden Axe is like you can move forward and you can move like forward and back.
Yeah, they have like a
It's like
a
literally
2D,
it's like an arcade view.
like a 2D frame, but like a 3D environment.
I think you
Yeah.
define a three-dimensional game based on if the camera can move freely.
Fair enough.
Because in like I'd imagine River City Girls kind of look behind like your scene you're looking at.
Yeah, River City Girls. Basically, you have the whole map in front of you. You walk around.
Yeah, but
If you go to the next area, camera moves.
okay, yeah. I think a three-dimensional game you define as a game where the camera can like look behind an object. I think that's a pretty good way to describe it.
I'm pretty sure the Origami King is considered 2.5D.
Super Mario
Can
3D.
you move the camera freely?
Super Mario 3D, like Mario 3D World, Mario Galaxy. You can't really move it like freely.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can- you can move it a little bit,
Fixed
but
camera.
2.5D is just like a 2D game with like 3D environmental aspects. So,
So would Metroid Dread be considered?
No.
I
I think.
well, like
I
don't
think.
think it really
I
is.
think that's a con for the two-dimensional game.
the gameplay is entirely 2D.
Correct.
It's just got like
Yeah,
thirds.
yeah,
on it.
yeah.
It has 3D dimensions and it has like a world that's behind it, but you can't explore it at all.
I don't.
No,
It depends on how people define it. Because I've seen people define this as 2.5D, but I think this is just a 2D game.
Yeah, I'd say that's just a
I
2D
think
game.
it's just
The
2D.
the background could just be a big old black wall, and none of the gameplay would change.
Correct. Although, yeah, it would be like a little bit less immersive. But yeah, gameplay its part would not change. Okay. Next question is Nishant's. Is the move towards digital copies of games a beneficial move?
Yes. Well, actually, I think. See, whenever I do digital I feel like it's just easier. Digital, we've got Xbox, so you transfer across your profiles all the way. You don't have to carry around discs everywhere, carry around a disc pack. All your games are tied to your profile. You can game share it, transfer it,
But
anything you want.
the downside of that is they'd have to upgrade the system software enough so where you can like fit more games into it, like
Hard
instead
drive.
of just like putting on like discs.
Now, you can't even fit all the down on a disc anymore. It used to be where
That's true.
360 days. Boom, pop on a disc, you get home. New game that came from GameStop, pop on a disc, you're playing it. It felt so good back then. Now you're like, shit, I got a new game.
Day 3 of the
Yeah.
install.
So you're like, oh, put in the disc, it's installing. All right. Oh, guess what? I forgot to press resume installation.
Mhm.
And I woke up next morning ready to play. I'm like, fuck. I didn't close that pop-up, did I? That sucks. Now I gotta wait a whole other day. It's really that time where no data can fit on a disc anymore. Every game is so big. Like the new Xbox comes with a terabyte of storage. I downloaded 5 games. It's already almost full. Games are just getting so much bigger now.
That's true. I think another thing is just wait. Fuck, I completely lost whatever.
And having a disc now, I feel like, is just it's a burden besides them collectors. Because it used to be like I was gonna say a disc, like you could share it with your friends.
I mean,
Now you can do game sharing. You can share your profile with friends. They can play your games without you having to log into your account.
but
Because-
it also helps save space on your system so you can put more games onto it.
No, well,
Buy a SD
No.
card.
when it comes to Xbox, the amount of data you're saving is probably 1 or 2 gigs.
Yeah.
They can only fit about 1 or 2 gigs on it. It says there are two downloads: disc download and network download. Disc is about 2-3 gigs. Download 45.
That's what Xbox looks.
I don't know about any other games, because back in PS3, flipping a disc, oh, bro, I was having fun.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at a waiting screen while watching YouTube.
Yeah. When I think of
Nintendo.
when I think of going in from 2D, or when I think of 2D, when I think of going from hard copy to digital, I think of like game preservation, and I think it's a lot harder in a certain way to like preserve the game as it is intended to be. Like I love having like a physical copy of things, something to hold in my hand, and I love having something to display.
Yeah.
Like if you go to my room, I don't have like a lot of games, but ever like since like the Switch, basically, I collect and showcase all my games. You cannot wall jump up at that, Zach.
It's so cool.
It's like, I don't know, like if it's something I really love, I just want to have the physical version just to have it. Just like, man, I have the disc, and it makes me feel better because like I love the series so much. To where I want to have the physical version, but just because I want to have it.
Which is why I chose to go to GameStop instead of just downloading Metroid Dread at midnight when it came out.
It adds that special feeling of like when you're sitting in your parents' car playing a new game.
True.
And you sit there reading the back of it.
Back in when they had manuals in it. Open up. I'm reading the manual right now.
I missed them. I have like no like actual case for my Wii games left. But you better bet your ass I have like so many of the fucking manuals still.
Oh my god, and I love reading it. And it used to be around during the weekdays where I couldn't play video games. I would read manuals of every time.
And think about
no, you would. Like,
If we move to a fully digital era, no more kids will have a very special memory
of reading manuals.
No, they can read the manual. They can just fucking open up the digital manual.
Well, I'm saying like, Doug, now games don't have manuals anymore. That's sad. It saddens me that they don't have manuals.
And here's another thing: if you are like super passionate about a game, and you have the digital copy, you go out and buy the physical copy to support the developers more.
But from a business standpoint, I'm gonna bring this up. It's a fucking shit idea to have a physical game.
Yeah,
there is no.
Not to mention brick and mortar stores. They're like GameStop is on the verge of dying.
The reason why Amazon is so big.
Yeah. It's the brick and mortar is not being supported anymore, and that's sad to be honest. Because like I remember like the days I'll go to GameStop because the Target's right next to it, and be like, I want to go in there and buy a game or just browse.
But on the sentimental side,
there's
something so special about having something that you can actually hold on to.
Yeah.
For something that you have so many memories of it, like just like on a screen.
Yeah.
Like I love having Metroid. I love having the original copy, and I like having the amiibos that I got besides them because I was like one of the first ones at GameStop to get them.
Yeah, it is.
But another contribution to why they're dying, the absolute convenience of digital, as well as like even when I think about like when I got this game, I went to GameStop to get it, even though I fully realized that I could have went to fucking Walmart and I could have got it for $10 cheaper and probably supported some at least someone less.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that overall it's just kind of like a hard thing. I don't think physical will ever be completely gone.
I think there will still always be some sort of demand.
Yeah.
Whether it becomes like a special different thing you have to pay extra for a physical copy, there will always be a physical copy.
Right.
And there'll also be a market for it.
Mm-hmm.
Very correct.
Yeah. Like I never bought a collector's edition of a game. I've never done that.
I think Fire Emblem Echoes, a 3DS game.
I think it's a waste of money to buy a collector's edition.
I think I do
That's
for
fine.
Super Paper Mario on the
Almost one that were really cool. Like one like a
Super
flat
Paper Mario. That's easily
my
my
favorite.
favorite
So dope.
series.
Yeah,
That's cool.
the Nintendo Wii.
Yeah, Origami King will probably be my second.
I know like one like Infamous Second Son. It came with condoms.
Yeah,
Game brand condoms.
that's literally
Blow them. Like, it was freaking
I just think
funny.
they were going to use
Yeah.
They're just for collection, dude.
Yeah.
hang them up in your room.
There's a Scott the Laws episode that talks about like Call of Duty World War II, and it came with a canteen, but the canteen didn't fucking work.
Yeah.
So we wrote out like an entire little skit. It's like, don't worry guys, we might be in a war, but I stocked up on Call of Duty World War II collections.
Yeah.
And you fool, you do this all, they don't fucking work.
How does a canteen not work?
It doesn't open. It's a fucking sealed shell. It's just a fucking
That
metal.
might be harder to manufacture.
Is the move towards digital. What comes to good game design in any given genre? I think we might actually want to save this one because
That's still open.
That's a deep one.
that's a very deep
That's
question.
open-ended.
Go to some like fun one.
Yeah. Is it plausible to have? Oh wait. What makes your What makes your favorite game your favorite game?
Fuck, man.
That even
I
is
have a-
asked a very difficult.
I have a
questions.
lot of favorite games, bro.
I mean, I do too. Well, let's start off with the question that I posed in relation to that one, and I asked, is it plausible to have more than one favorite game?
Yeah, of course it is, bro. Because like different genres, it's like having a TV show or like anime or something. you can't choose a favorite one. All of the different genres that you have a different mindset to judge. Like,
I'll hit somewhere different.
yeah, it's like I love the Fate series for its action and everything. But like, if I want romance, I watch like Suicide or Four Door or something.
Love
I could like.
I watched
Drama.
Yeah, if I wanted a game series about a battle royale between contestants winning money, I'd watch Total Drama Island, not Squid.
True.
I love
Yeah.
Total Drama.
Yeah, exactly. So like, it just every time I walk to a different genre, my mindset shifts. Like, I'm gonna judge it based on this genre and the things surrounding it.
You're not gonna sit there and play a game like Metroid Dread and then then count points off because they have a cutesy art style.
Or,
I'm not gonna count against it because it's a fucking romance option.
or where are my dialogue choices? She has 3 fucking lines.
And two of them are Chozo, and then one of them is just the first screening.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
But yeah,
It takes me.
yes,
It's a melee. How does it go through the floor?
you can't. No, you have to like melee that while it's going.
Zach's big bad.
You're very bad at this.
Yeah.
I think that you are exactly right. That you can't expect something from you can't expect something from everything for every game. Because like this is a week out from when Metroid Dread launched, and I played the game like a solid like 6 complete playthroughs. And I am in complete love with this game that Zach's playing right now. Like, this is probably one of my favorite games right now. But I can tell, like, I've already felt like after I beat it today for like the 6th time, I was like, I need to play something else. I'm gonna put myself out on this, and while I love this, I'm just going to stop for a little while and play something else. Like, I'm gonna go like play Pokemon again. Since all my fucking save data has been erased, or I'm gonna play Smash Brothers because I want to get better to actually beat Troy someday, maybe.
Dude, I beat Troy like 50-50.
Exactly.
It's so easy.
But yeah, I just think that no game can offer everything, and that's why I think it's so important to like realize that you can have more than one favorite or something. Like, you guys are like all like my best friends, and I don't think of that like I don't like try to think of it like as an order tier. Like, fucking, I hate Zach, but Evan, he's fucking great. Yeah. I don't think of it in terms like that. I think of it in terms of like everything is different, and that's okay.
We have a list. There's two items on the list.
There's 2 tiers. There's 2 tiers.
And the first one is unordered.
A, B, C, D, E, F.
At least I'm not A, and that's like robbing a bank.
A,
At least I'm not.
But yeah, I think it's just important to like take everything based on its own merits and like what it offers. Like, you can even have like 2 favorite games in like the same genre.
Yeah.
Like, I think Metro, like coming back to Metroid because I'm a Nintendo kid, but and I'm the only one that has played Super Metroid, which is a game that basically launched the Metroidvania series alongside Symphony of the Night. But I think that it's completely fine to have like 2 favorites of the Metroidvania genre being Super Metroid and Metroid Dread.
I think that's dumb.
Shut up. Because they both like offer like pretty similar experiences, but they're both like unique enough that I think they warrant the distinction. Do you guys have anything else to add?
Not really.
No,
That was
yeah.
pretty tough to try topics.
Yeah.
If you ask me what my favorite game is,
Now,
I'd one that's 3.
What is your favorite game and why? Going back to Coda's question. Coda, you asked it. You answer first.
Okay. My favorite game is The Binding of Isaac: Repentance.
Okay, that's actually a pretty good answer.
Yeah, because
You have
like
a charge shot. Oh.
there's almost 1,000 items in the game, and it's really fun to just go through the game over and over again, seeing the different combinations of the different items, seeing what they can do and what they can't.
I was completely ready to shit on you for saying Earthbound.
What the fuck? He has a respectable opinion?
Well, the thing about my favorite RPG.
Yeah.
I hate every time I find RPGs. I hate every time I find RPGs.
I love the Earthbound 2. Fuck that guy.
That can eat my shit and rocks.
I don't think I want to beat my shit.
Luke is better than Ness.
Stop. What's your favorite game?
My favorite game is Shadow of the Colossus.
That's a pretty good
Or beautiful game.
Yeah.
It's more of a boss rush game.
Mhm.
It takes probably 8 hours max to complete if you're not that good at games.
Are you
And
that good at games?
I am very good at games.
How long?
Also, if you guys like want to give like
It's
2 or 3 answers, you can do that. If you want.
And I like it because it's more of a puzzle
Trevor.
game. I hate to say it, but it is more of a puzzle game. It is not hard combat wise. It's almost like a puzzle on how to complete. So after dying or retrying like for the fifth or
You sure
seventh
did.
time, you know what to do and like how to beat it. So it's not like
Not only
What-
readability.
Once
you
you
don't like
Yeah,
rage
yeah.
at it.
once you know how to beat it, you solve it like entirely.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but like you're never like stuck on anything
Mhm.
because you get a little bit further like each time, and the combat's not hard. So it's not like
It's just an experience.
the puzzle game. It's beautiful. It's more of a story game.
Yeah.
So
So
you like more like cinematic kind of things. Is that it?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like those fucking things are gigantic. And like that.
They are.
The scale that really made the game was the
Yeah,
scale.
Yeah, especially if like a 2000. What is it like remastered 2005 game?
It's like 2016 game remastered. It was originally a 2002 game.
So yeah, it makes sense that like they'd have to like rely on that because
Yes.
yeah. Other than that, it probably didn't have that like nearly as much to offer in like other categories.
Hey, wait, Scott, real quick, you wanna show your shirt to the recording?
Oh, I've already done this like 7 times. Grappler Man. Video game.
Let's go.
Grappler Man.
You're a big fan
Drop a
of
like. Dangerous Elite.
Elite Dangerous.
Elite
game.
Dangerous.
I
Do you-
remember the game.
That's the game.
Zach, Sean, Evan, do you have like an answer yet, or I have? I think I have
yeah.
my answer.
I'd say like I think I have two.
You better not
No,
say fucking play.
Face beauty. Actually, originally.
Yeah.
But I think I have two answers. Like there's a multiplayer experience and a single player experience. Because the games I play have both of them usually. Single player experience is
This is how many we finished.
Red Dead Redemption 2. Just because
we're 3 down.
It's, Arthur Morgan's probably the best protagonist ever. He just seems like such a father figure.
What game did you say this was?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Gotcha.
Such a fucking good game. It is beautiful looking. A whole world so interactive as hell. It gets the freaking campaign takes like over like 10 hours, like 20 hours to actually beat. And there's even an epilogue. There's an epilogue too that takes another 10 hours.
Only like 10 to 20.
No, over.
Oh, no.
I think my first playthrough was like 50. I think I've spent like a whole month playing the game. And there's still more you can do. There's so many side quests. And the fact that everybody interacts. Like you bump into someone, like, hey, yo, watch it, bud. Or like you can antagonize people. Like you start insulting them. And they want to fight, you pull out your shotguns and just blow their head off. And not to mention like the storytelling was just so fucking good. The world building what they did. It really moved me, to be honest.
Caesar,
But then
get your hand in like.
we're talking about multiplayer.
Okay.
I feel like it's probably either Titanfall or Halo, to be honest. Because one thing I feel like really makes a game, to be honest, for me, is just lore that's out of your sight. When the game doesn't like spoon feed you lore,
Mhm.
you know, the
When
stuff,
it's there for you to
yeah,
like, interpret.
it's where like it's there for interpret and for you to like it's out of sight, out of mind. But if you will search for it, you will love it.
Let's go, Metro.
Yeah, exactly. Like let's say like I'm gonna get back Halo again. Halo, all the lore is in the books. In the books, or like little bitty like files. Every armor piece in Halo has a lore of why it was created or why it was designed the way it was.
Oh damn.
And like it really makes you appreciate every little detail because you know there's a reason lore wise of why that detail was there.
Mhm.
And that's why I really love Halo as a story mode game and it's multiplayer. Its multiplayer is so good. The fact that everything is not just it's a lot more. Yeah, it's a lot more thought process. It was the golden triangle of gameplay and multiplayer. You got guns, you got melee, you got grenades. It's like rock paper scissors. You have to balance everyone head in every gunfight. You have to balance: do I shoot them? Do I bounce a grenade off the ground to hit them, or do I go in for the melee?
No.
And it's that dance that goes with every gunfight. It takes so much more skill than shooting them head more than time.
Okay.
Because like the thing about Halo is that it rewards you for headshots only at the very end. When you break their shields, every shot you break shields, it does the same damage. You have to break them shields with body shots, hit them in the head. But in that process, you did make a lot of decision making skills. That's why it's so fun to actually like watch pro leagues because you see their decision making.
Mhm.
And other games like Titanfall, which is a running gun, but like the reason it's so fun is the fact that you feel like Sonic with that grappling hook, and it's just so fun because you really get to
That
be
does sound fun.
you get
The
to
mechanics
be, you get to be
great.
so kinetic with what you do. Every map is designed around the fact that you can wall run, you can jump, you can clamber, you can have these all advanced movement techs, and that's why I feel like games like Call of Duty they try to copy.
Has anyone here played Spider-Man PS4?
No,
I played Spider-Man PS2. That's
Yeah,
it.
but I love
Dopest.
it.
Oh, I love that game so much.
Man.
Spider-Man, the PS2. I'm saying, if in the question, best console, PS2. fucking
It's
good.
literally the best selling one.
I thought you were an Xbox kid.
I started PlayStation. I only got Xbox because of Halo. I saw the big green, was like, yo, his helmet looks kind of cool. I'm gonna buy the game. But the game that gave me the most childhood,
Just
PS2.
dash melee, bitch.
But yeah, off topic. I love games that make me feel like Titanfall. The way everything is designed intentionally, and you once you master the mechanics, they're easy to use. They're hard to master. But once you master everything becomes so fluid, and you can start styling people, and it's just so fun to play.
So you like it like a challenging game.
Yeah, but then after that though, there's a whole different aspect. With the Titans, you are in mechs now. You no longer have mobility. It is all about decision making and not getting gang banged, or you can like resist a gang bang by being smart about what you're doing and knowing them out.
big ass guns.
Big ass robots. Who doesn't love big ass robots fighting? That's why Pacific Rim was so good. That's why Transformers is so good. We hate humans.
Hey,
we
wait.
hate human plotline.
I'm gonna cut you off. I think you've done enough.
I love Halo.
Yeah, I think we
It's
should. I
Titanfall.
think we should go back to Red Dead Redemption,
Titanfall's
where
great.
you can like lasso people's foot and drag them.
God, yes. You can hog tag people and just drag them, and they die. They die.
Yeah.
And you can show them. You can like put their body on like a road trail. People come by and be like, "Yo, there's a fucking body there. Why did that get there?"
No,
Peculiar.
you can like drag people around on your horse
Yeah.
and just like
Luke,
bash them.
Luke would do that to me. He would try to like run past me wrong time. It was like I was being dragged. It was so fucking fun.
Did he like hit you into trees?
Yes, he did. It was so funny every time he did it. All right. Well, this is I first came to
God damn it. Fucking, I hate you. Okay.
Because when I think of like oh world,
Yeah.
like, NPCs then interact with you and like they respond. I think of the exact opposite of the spectrum. It's this glitchy ass game. I don't know what it's called, but it has fucking. Coney reacts to it all the time in React Wars, and it has like it's like the fucking buggiest game. It's so fucking
Oblivion. Skyrim Oblivion.
Yes, it's Oblivion.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny.
Oh
Yes,
my
I
god.
haven't killed the guy though.
no, I know.
Oblivion.
You're supposed to jump around. It's a good
That's
game.
good. All right. I think that's up for you guys to like tell you guys.
Shut. Evan, are you gonna game?
I can also game.
Okay, you go first. You earned it.
Oh yeah, Zach, you are also part of this.
So I'm gonna say 2 games, although it could easily be more. It's just that what I'm thinking of right now. And this has stayed, and this has remained true for a while. I would probably add in the third being a tie between Super Metroid and Metroid Dread because I just love these games so much. I could probably play them forever and not get like too tired of it. Because I would still like, try to get it faster. But I think my top 2 favorite games would be at the moment of recording
98K, bro.
would be Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because I do love like a story that I can get involved in.
Really good story.
It has a very good story and it has like more to dig into than like just the game itself. Like you can also like get into the entire series, although you don't have to. Like I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is an amazing standalone game. Even if the end does tie in with Xenoblade 1, even though it does a lot better defining its own world than Xenoblade 1 ever did.
Yeah, its tie-in is at the very, very end.
It's very loose. Like it is a game that you can take on its own merits, and you will probably still be satisfied with it. But
yeah, at least it was kind of like, oh, we got to tie it back somehow. Oh, shove that in there. Boom.
yeah, that's kind of what it feels
Yeah.
like.
Story.
Yeah, good storytelling.
Actually, no, I feel like it was made a lot better with that in mind, especially than Xenoblade 1 did. That was a total assful. In Xenoblade 1, total assful.
Yeah.
But another thing that I like about the game is that its combat, while it might seem boring to the outside, like
What are you
eye,
doing?
because it's based on like an auto attack system, it gets so involved and like so complex. Get off your phone.
Dog, I'm
Fuck
busy
you.
grinding.
I'm playing MG.
I'm busy. No,
Sean, the gotcha game.
Oh god.
That is a drug addict. That is a drug addict response.
I need to grind.
Sean, you don't know
Gotcha
what
games
are
are predator.
You don't have that yet.
Sean saying the God's games are predatory. Also, Sean
you
gonna
know- you
take
wanna know
away
what to do? Go
the
Go back up there.
Sean, you don't
Zach,
need
no, go
it.
back. Go back up to the speed reset. So, like I said,
Fuck up.
it has like a good story, and on top of that, it has like I think it has good gameplay with the combat. Like I think, like while I think it looks boring because like auto attacking and everything, go left, you see those two like suspicious looking blocks
How am I supposed to take your phone?
below you, literally below you.
at all.
They were suspicious. Anyway,
There you go.
it looks like a boring like auto attack based thing. Where
You know, it's like a boring auto attack based thing.
It definitely gets like a lot more complex in it, and I think there's like a lot of levels to it. that I think if you like really get into it, it becomes like a really enjoyable thing. Because I know after like grinding for so long, because I was already interested in the game, I became overpowered as fuck. I couldn't grind on anything anymore because I killed it too fucking fast. And I just think that's like a really fun thing to explore. That like you can get good enough that you actually just become like way too strong.
That's what I'm talking about.
And additionally, it has exploration. So I think Xenoblade 2 is just kind of a game that like offers it all with exploration,
I did like the backtrack.
story, exploration, and a cohesive world. Like everything about it, like the characters, everything about it was. I just think it was like one of my. I think it's probably going to be like one of the best games that I ever play, in my opinion. Even though it's kind of like a niche kind of thing. And second of all, Smash Ultimate. I think Smash Ultimate is also probably one of the best. It's probably one of the best games it's ever made. It's definitely like
Horrible. Wow.
Actual shit.
Sometimes it does feel like an absolute shit game, and it doesn't. And it's never been.
That's the top tier.
Yeah.
DLC, baby. Fuck you.
What?
Also DLC.
I am MKLeo. I am MKLeo.
No, you're not.
The characters I play sometimes, but
I think that it's a very well balanced game, and I think it's a game that has its like own fun. Like while Smash is like definitely a multiplayer focused game, like it's a party game at the end of the day. I think for a certain for a very certain person, and I was this person for the longest time, I think it's satisfying as its own like standalone like single player game in a sense. Like I used to be that lonely kid that didn't have any friends or siblings. That like I would just play on my 3DS by myself or on my Wii U by myself. I would just play Super Smash Brothers by myself because I didn't have anyone to play with, and I just enjoyed the game.
I can't stand playing games like Smash on my own.
I can understand that. Like I played Mario Kart on my own. I played Mario Party on my own. I played Smash on my own, and I think Smash is probably like the best like standalone like single player experience sometimes with like. Even though it has like some of the less offerings like with Target Smash and whatnot, I think it still has enough to come back on, like the classic mode, like the Spirit Collection. Like before Smash Ultimate came out, like about a year before we started our whole like Discord server, and you better believe your ass that I just spent my time collecting every spirit from what's it called, World of Light, from
Dude,
the
I
Spirit
100% the World of Light, and I still don't like it.
That's completely fair.
I choose Blow Back.
I think it can fucking get like monotonous as fuck. It totally did sometimes. But I think
just use that one character with the one broken spirit.
But I think
I think at like 17%.
But I think that overall,
Respectable, to be honest.
Smash Ultimate,
It's not worth it.
it's probably like one of the best.
When you're bored.
It just has to do with like
It's
the
useful for,
aspect
like,
of
the rating
platform fighters, and I think that you're bad.
Yeah.
I just think that overall, as a platform fighter, I don't think that you can really get like a better like balance, like a more like
I like that.
a more detailed and like thorough experience. Like Smash has so much polish to it. Like all Switch games, like all first party Switch games I think have had recently, like Odyssey, like Mario Odyssey, like Breath of the Wild, like Metroid Dread. I think every like first party Nintendo game has had so much polish, and I think that Smash Ultimate is definitely like the most polished Smash game that has ever been. And I just love Smash purely because like what it is, because of the genre that it is, because of what it offers. And like when I think of Smash Ultimate, I think of like how I think of the time when I watched an Alpha video and you see Carol's down air and you see that he does a whole fucking flip for his down air animation, and no one will ever notice that because it's like a fucking like what 30 frame move or something. It's like it's like half a second. Like it's very quick, but it's just something that's like so detailed and like it's just so polished. And I think that's really beautiful in a game, and it's like also just a good like multiplayer game that you can just play it infinitely.
Dude, just
you guys.
Smash Ultimate is like probably the most refined platform fighter out there.
It's because they've
And it
had,
probably will
it's because
be.
they've had years to do it.
Well, yeah,
Like, look at Nick All Stars. That shit's janky as hell.
it's not worth. It is not worth $50. I'd pay $20 maximum, and I
Yeah.
paid $40.
Ninetales!
Same with Melee. The Clawsons, they have Melee. They bought it for like $60, and they say it just feels so bad to play whenever like coming off of Ultimate.
I can't imagine playing that.
Yeah, no, it's like the same thing with
Like I watch Nick All Stars. Whenever someone dies, they die.
True.
Like Smash Bros. You kill someone, they teleport off
Bro,
screen.
Yeah, it's like in Smash 4.
You
Like,
can feel the momentum of every attack.
Yeah, dude. When I look at Reptar, like I think he does like 30% off an
This down.
uncharged
dude,
down
you
special.
can do
And
uncharged
then he
down
just fucking
special
kills you.
and
And
uncharged down
it's like,
special
oh,
and
man,
uncharged down
Yeah,
special.
like,
and
you're so
uncharged down
slow
special,
coming
and
off things like
uncharged down
dang,
special, and
you
like,
should make it back, right? Nope, it's gone.
It's so disgusting.
No, that's what I feel like when I play Smash 4 again. Like I get red lightning and like I'm going so slow. Why am I dead? And then I
Yeah.
die. and I can't do anything about it.
Smash 4 is such a slow game. Like
We need to play it sometime. Just like I think we should.
I think we should.
I
do
think we
another
should.
Raid Boss Night.
I think we should play through
Yeah.
all the Smash games and like just. I think that would just be like a fun like party.
Besides
experience.
Melee and 64.
No, I think we should play those two. I think you need the full experience.
I'm not paying like $100 for Melee.
Well, I'm praying that fucking Nintendo Online expansion has
That'd
fucking
be so
Smash 64 eventually, and then we can just find Melee some other way.
We should do another Raid Boss Night.
All right.
We really
I
should.
think
I think I've talked for long
You
enough.
think
So
it's
I think
okay.
Zach and Evan. I think
Oh,
you can
yeah.
talk.
All right,
Y'all
Zach.
say
Zach,
You want me to go or you want me to? You wanted it?
Sure.
Okay, great. So I'll go first.
You're
I
going
have same thing. I have like I think 4 that I want to list, maybe 3.
Cool.
I want to name Team Fortress 2 as my first one.
And
Right.
Nick
Oh,
Roy-
Zach,
Ross
you're
second.
lost.
I had a very large amount of time playing that
800
game.
hours.
800 something
I
hours.
don't have
God, I still have
Team
more
Fortress
options.
2.
God. And also,
Dude,
my favorite
Christine.
game.
That like I think he's like still bisexual, but that like his name is Blake.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, he
So
was like over 4,000 something hours in the game in total.
Oh, what? TF2?
Yes, because instead of I think TF2 is replayable games all
Blocks
the time.
below you.
Think so?
It's for infinitely replayable. There's always just those community maps like Death Run. There's like
Once you said that, I could
Simon
see
Says
the
game
I
mode.
think the players really shape
Yeah.
the game.
Team Fortress 2 is one of those games where the developers have made it, saying,
Hands off.
I don't want to make this
Yep,
anymore.
hands off.
Do it.
Yeah.
So they allowed modding and community maps, all this crazy
That's something
shit.
That hats, right?
It had and it hats. It's like a personality-based game that like each
I mean,
character
I'm
is
figuring it out.
oozing with personality.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of games like have just like gotten to a point where it's like there's not really much we can add, but the community has a lot of ideas, so
Yeah.
just push it to lots of
The Pyro that has no voice lines has more personality than most Japanese RPG
The
characters.
most Overwatch characters.
Yeah.
yeah.
And he has no lines. He has no words.
Pyro has more personality than the entirety of the Overwatch game combined.
Yeah.
What
So
made
crazy.
me really like feel like damn dude was cool was like one of like Heavy's emotes is he eats a sandwich
Mhm.
and he heals him. I'm like
That's actually
Yeah.
what
and then I'm like what the fuck, because I'm so used to like people developers like, oh, these hunts purely cosmetic, they will do nothing besides
Young
make
Blades,
make you look cool. But then you see Tom's like they actually have
it's
like
cool.
gameplay.
Yeah.
And it's, I like the bat and all stuff like
Yeah.
the scout has.
Below
I'm like I'm so not used to it. It's like
Like Scout
I feel like it's like it breaks the game balance, but I feel like that's the purpose of it.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was more even
Scout has a shotgun that just uses a Nuka-Cola as its like ammo.
I think it's so freaking cool. Like the one the devs don't care. Just do it.
Let's play.
Just do it.
It's great.
Just play the game.
It's a very fun like game. I love it. The next one I'm going to list is Super Paper. Wait, I mentioned really Super Paper Mario for the Nintendo Wii. This is probably my favorite RPG of all time because it is. It's just the game I have the most nostalgia for.
It's
Yeah.
easy.
I remember I played that game. I was loving it. Then I got to one of those memorable sections of my gaming where I got to like the mansion section and you have to like save the rubies to like pay off the Mimi character to like not be a slave. And I didn't realize what you had to do for this level. I thought you were supposed to like break into the safe and like get all the money. I didn't realize this. So I proceeded to spend the next 5 to 6 of my elementary and middle school days grinding it naturally. I got about halfway there, got bored, stopped playing for like a weekend, got back, figured it out immediately. It made me so upset at the time. But looking back, I'm glad I did it.
More time to play the game.
Yeah.
It I don't know. I just think it's one of my fondest memories, even though it was so awful in the moment. Because it just, I think it's, I don't know, it's just so cool to me. How you had to explore a little bit, you had to do stuff, you had to talk to people to get to this thing. And I like that a lot. It's one of my favorite games. I loved it. The next one I want to list is also Smash Ultimate. But that's it for a different reason than Caesar. I like Smash Ultimate because similar to Team Fortress 2, I think it has a lot of personality in it.
True.
I think that
Youngling chugging his glue. Dude,
Yeah.
Great.
he eats glue.
Mm-hmm.
Donkey Kong, whenever he gets hit, makes such hilarious faces. So does
DDD. DDD.
He makes such great
And Pit, one of his like death lines is I never learned how to read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a game that is
I do like the death lines. The death lines add a little bit of spice that I really like. Like, Bob's like, my battle is here. And all, so I find it so funny.
Dude, you reminded me of an RPG called West of Loathing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know that game. I know that
Gotcha.
game. That's
It's just like a
that's a
completely
funny-
joke game,
Yeah.
but it's
Zach,
so
I think-
good.
Zach, I think in the future we want to put the game over there, like
Yeah,
behind the
probably.
camera,
I mean,
because I noticed I've been looking fucking here the entire time. I'm like, "What the fuck is it?"
I've been
We
trying to
can
stop
just sit on that camera.
No.
Like, put
Sit on the camera.
Yeah, I could look at that.
Yeah, sit on that couch and point the camera there.
Yeah,
What?
we'll refine this.
Okay.
Anyway,
As I'm gonna have a statement.
I don't know what
Video
we can
games,
do in
I
the
love
first
them.
place.
I think what makes a good game for me is just games that have a lot of personality. I like that a lot.
TFT, Super Mario, and
Smash Ultimate.
I
I also
agree
like
with
Smash
you.
Ultimate. There was a young little child like Caesar who just exclusively played single player, multiplayer games like Mario Party, Mario Kart. I didn't
Mario
get
Party
the
by
same
itself sounds
approach.
so sad.
I didn't get the
That-
same
yeah,
approach that
you did that?
Caesar had.
Oh,
Oh, you're
that's-
sad, man.
That was my time.
And
I
they are trash.
That's so depressing.
True.
Yeah.
I always wanted Mario parties when I was young,
yeah.
and then I
so
played
good.
Super Paper Mario, and then I played fucking Super Mario Party, and I'm like, why can't I beat these?
Exactly.
I would actually get upset because they made the AI fucking better.
Yeah.
And it made me upset.
And I
Oh,
think
no.
the difference from Caesar was Caesar started to enjoy those single player aspects. I despised them. I didn't play World of Light. I don't do jack shit when it comes to single player aspects of multiplayer games. But I love Smash Ultimate.
No.
It allows me to play with other people and connect with them and do a bunch of cool shit.
I love the social aspect of like multiplayer games.
Yeah. All right, Zach.
My turn.
I think we're gonna do you, and then we're gonna do like one closing question, and then we're just gonna.
Okay, so, okay, so I'm gonna start with the baby childhood, Mario Kart Wii.
Oh,
That-
Yeah.
Okay, it's just as a kid, it first started out. I would play with my brother and sister. That was something that we would fight a lot because we're all stubborn bitches.
Yes.
So one way that we could actually get together is by playing video games. Sometimes it was new Super Mario Bros. For the Wii. It was mostly Wii games, like Wii Sports But Mario
was
Kart
the
Wii
casual console.
is the one that really spoke to me. At first, or it's just
It's
the
a
game.
nostalgia
It has
factor.
such replayability because literally the base game itself, you do the same track 3 laps in a row. Like the game is based around you play the same tracks over and over and over again, and it's just it became something that it just okay. One thing that I really love in games is like fluidity. I have to love playing the game and the movement of it. So Mario Kart Wii, first of all, you're literally racing, but it feels so good to play the game. Like once you get used to it, like at first it's like a little clunky, but once you get into the groove of it, like it just feels so much better, in my opinion, than like Mario Kart 8. Because of like the different mechanics, such as you could choose automatic drifting, but also like wheeling,
nice stuff.
especially. Yeah, it does. But like bikes and wheelies in general, even though it basically completely invalidated karts from like ever like actually winning,
You love playing 4 characters in Melee.
it just feels so nice to use. And even though like
We love choosing 7 fucking stages out of 100.
even though there are you only want to use like 3 bikes, the difference in like the choices that you make, whether it be the flame runner, the spear, or the Mach bike, all of them are super high speed. But really, the thing that differentiates them is the amount of drift they have. The spear, it's like you turn very slow, and then the flame runner is like your average. It's pretty much the one that everyone uses. And then there's Mach bike, which is super tight. But then also, this game, especially compared to Mario Kart 8, is the unintended shortcuts.
True. Those are like fucking
First one that comes to my mind is the Grumble Volcano Rock Hop.
Oh yeah.
Not the stupid thing where you go up and then skip basically the whole track by going around the rock 3 times. The Rock Hop, it's very difficult. Yeah, Mushroom Gorge,
Yeah, I think
another good one.
I do love Mushroom
Um,
Gorge.
But it's like it's one of the even for a very experienced player, it's not easy to pull off always. It's something that I really enjoy, and it allowed me like even as a kid, I would play against the CPUs, and even though I would win every time, it was really fun for me to see how much I could win by. And also in that game, for like the Grand Prix mode, there like the difficulty, unlike Mario Kart 8, you didn't just need to get first. You had to get first and like actually win. There was like this point system for like the bottom 4 placements, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and the longer you were in those places, the more those like points were like counted off. And once you got to a certain point, like you couldn't get 3 stars. So like if you actually wanted to like 100% the game, you had to actually be pretty good.
True.
So yeah, Mario Kart Wii, love it to death, especially with custom tracks that they do now, mods. Awesome. Next game, Hollow Knight.
Knew it.
Yeah.
Obligatory.
Yeah.
Obligatory Hollow Knight.
Of course. Yeah.
Hey man, we already saw fucking Xenoblade.
First of all, the art, it's so nice to look at.
It has a good theming. It has a very
We
good
love
theming.
black, white, and orange.
Exactly.
No,
And blue.
I think it has-
And the music as well. It's just the environment as a whole is just really nice. So that way, even when like sometimes you have to like, you realize, oh, I have to run across the entire map to get to where I need to go. You never really hate it because the environment is just really nice. Also, there's lots of fast travel points. So like you never really have to run for that far, especially like later in the game, because you also have so many movement options. Once again, movement.
movement.
Oh, it's so nice.
You do
It's
love.
so nice.
You do love movement. You're gonna love when you get.
That's
to
great. Don't care. So
Oh,
Face.
also, I do like Cuphead. And one of the things I like about it is like all the different bosses and stuff. And it's still a pretty difficult game. With Hollow Knight, you also kind of have that experience of like,
trial and error.
a bunch of different bosses.
Bro, Cuphead's like 90% bosses.
True.
Yes, I'm aware.
It's like 3
It
to,
is-
like 3 to
He's
6.
the boss, right?
There are 5. There are 15 run and gun stages total.
Bullshit.
I don't believe you.
15
I only
run and
remember like
guns.
one.
I remember like
I can probably think of 6.
No, I
wait,
remember two.
yeah, that's right. There are 6. There are 2
Three.
for each. I'm thinking of the coins. Which there are
Oh.
5 per level. Now, like, the world, 5 coins per
15.
Yeah, 6. 2 per aisle. Anyways, it's just and plus I've seen a couple of the video essays of Hollow Knight. There's
Bosky.
Moss bag.
yeah, probably. But one of them especially was on the Mantis Lords fight and how
Yeah.
beautiful and elegant.
It's a very good
It's a
boss
great
fight.
video.
Even I got that.
I
far.
think that is my favorite boss fight in any game I've ever played.
Really,
I don't know about
honestly-
that.
so nice.
I love
But it's just the game. Not only is there like a weirdly like there's like actually lore, and the characters, despite not having much lines, like there's actually like a story to the game. Which I've never really been like a huge story guy.
Yeah,
I think you're never
you
a story
you told
guy.
me that you don't get into the story unless like you're allowed to, and you can completely sidestep it if you want. Like you have to get into the lore yourself if you want to get invested.
Yeah, I feel like at that point, I basically have to be watching a movie, which is why I was
love
able to
Mario
sit through it.
Warfare.
That too, which is why I was able to sit through an entire playthrough of Persona 5
Oh my
Fuck.
because
God.
I'm basically watching a movie.
You
at
really
that
are.
point.
I did too. I got it.
That's great.
Watched it.
But yeah, Hollow Knight. It's also like you're free to do what you want, but like especially like once you get like the maps and stuff, the only time you're really lost is if you just don't use your resources. If you don't look at the map and see, oh, there's a hole here, I'm gonna go check this out and see if I can go to said hole, and then so like it's sometimes a little bit of trial and error. Like, oh, okay, this hole, nada, and then go to the next hole, nada. But it's just very nice, and I like it a lot.
Okay.
And there are lots of secrets too.
True. I feel like Hollow Knight is like really good, like in the same genre that Metroid is, like Metroidvania, because that's exactly what it is. I think the one reason that I couldn't get into it personally is just because I felt like I was a lot more directionless than I am with like Metroid. Like I feel like it says like a lot more like just go, like throws you off the deep end.
Find yourself.
Yeah,
Hollow
like,
Knight's just like another example of like an open world 2D game.
yeah. In Metroid, there's like an invisible hand like guiding you a little bit, Like in this game more so than in Super Metroid, which is the definitive one.
He's my.
True. I do have to guide you sometimes, but I get it because you also just have not played this kind of game before. But yeah,
we love Castlevania.
I don't know about Hollow Knight. You have to tell me because I haven't played enough of it. But with Metroid specifically, I feel like there's an invisible hand like that guides you. The developers like intend that they want you to do.
For Hollow Knight?
No, for Metroid.
Oh.
Like there's a guided path they want you to go on. You can choose to go off of it if you want, but you can you can play the entire game without noticing it. But I feel like there is like an intended path, and it's not like a stretch of the imagination to go through that path. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, for Hollow Knight,
I feel like
I never noticed it as I was playing. I thought I was like, oh yeah, I'm basically free to do everything.
Yeah.
But like you don't really notice it, but like the intended path is basically to get Dash and then to get Claw, and then if you get the Lumify Lantern, you can go up to Crystal Peaks, and then in which you get the Crystal Dash or whatever, and you can get to more places, and then you get the Monarch Wings.
That's another problem I have. Fucking having to pay for an advancement item with in-game currency. That was weird. That was so weird to me. I hated that.
Well, technically, you don't need it. You can do
That's
the Dark Room without it. Now, it's near impossible. And speedrunners like even mess up oftentimes because you're not intended to do it like that. But it is fun.
Okay, I think we can have another discussion about this, like just you and me on a separate day for this. But the last question that I want to end off on is one. I'm skipping over a few here because a lot of them are like very like
actual questions.
Yes, like we would like talk about. A lot of them are like personified to each one of us. Like, what is your favorite like antagonist in the game, things like that. Yeah. So I want to ask again like a more general one. Evan, you asked this one. Are microtransactions the Antichrist?
Oh yeah. Is that a question?
Yeah.
Well, no. There's like remove ads.
No. We want airplane mode.
True.
What if they preload the ads?
I think they do that. But
yeah, a lot of modern.
I think
preload ads.
I think typically it depends on the context. Like if it's like fucking like loot box and shit, like, fuck it.
And if it's like a $20 Ninetales skin in Pokemon Unite.
My opinion is if it is purely cosmetic, I don't care.
True.
If it affects gameplay, worst decision the game can make.
True. Yeah. I think of fucking the Metroid. I like this haunts me to this day. Samus Returns had amiibos, and this game came out like 2017 on 3DS. So it had amiibos that came with it, and most of them, like they all three of them, did like pretty minor things but you couldn't get them any other way. And now, like, it's so fucking like this is completely different tangent, but now you have to fucking buy camera. You would have to buy the same amiibos now to like unlock the same things that are in the game beforehand, and I think that's absolute bullshit. Because now that you like need those things, like now they're just more expensive. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is just my completely different.
I'm a pretty cosmetic loot box guy. Personally, I like to justify that I'm supporting developers.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're supporting a multi-million-dollar company, Sean.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no.
I mean, like
you buy like skins for
I have
League of Legends, and then you're reporting.
I have the same like
whenever I buy when I use money in my gacha games like FGO.
It's like
I'm like, don't worry, I'm supporting them making a new Fate remake. Please, for the love of God, let me do it. No, give me the happiness.
No,
I need.
never.
I just got that fight. Evan,
I know. I saw.
Are you okay with purchases that hasten the gameplay?
No.
Yeah.
That make it harder.
If
funny as hell.
It is able to be obtained free to play. Yep.
Okay.
If it is something
there you go.
If you can do it free to play, whatever. But if you cannot do it free to play, then no.
I still think cosmetic. I think microtransactions are still.
I think.
Oh no, they're still awful. It is a great marketing tactic.
Yeah.
I think cosmetics are better than like other ones.
Not
because I think
some people don't have the time. So they rather
I look prettier and I pay to look prettier and I'm fine with that because I want to and I find my own personal value.
Time to grind.
When it's value that's like arbitrary and like you just have to get it. Yeah. I think that's completely.
I don't play good if I don't look good. That's my thing. I need to look cool to be able to play cool.
But I think the general consensus.
No.
I think the general consensus is that yes, they are.
Very bad.
Loot boxes.
Yes. Generally, I disagree with anything.
I think generally they are, but I also have to play the devil's advocate if it's like a free to play game, then how are the developers going to make money off of it if they don't have those microtransactions?
Well, some developers don't make games for monetary gain. They make it just for like the benefit of the consumer.
I
Which-
think
That's
No,
called
but that's
bad
That's also
Yeah.
also called unsustainable.
Well,
business
not
model.
all people are
Yeah.
looking for business plans. They're looking for general
That's a
habitat.
Great game, I don't care.
that's a general,
Dog,
like a
that's like
general-
a one in a lifetime thing.
that's like a general fucking like artistic approach.
Like Wikipedia. Dog, they're begging us, please give us money. We know like 97% of you don't donate. Please donate. No, okay. I need to go read your cock and ball torture real quick. I can read
And you get banned on Twitch.tv looking at the penis Wikipedia page without realizing that's a thing that happened. Someone got banned for like a week on Twitch. They didn't realize they were looking at uncensored cock and balls on their Twitch stream.
Yeah,
That-
They were just looking at the dick Wikipedia page. And they did not think about it.
That is why you always screen something on a second screen
Yeah.
when you're doing.
but yeah, it's a markets out here. No matter what, they are bad. I wish I could go back to the times where I would work for the things I want.
Yeah.
Like
Good job.
like Halo.
Technically,
Like back then, I could
you're
work
working.
Halo. I could
in
work
real
for
life.
like the
I
Call
like
of Duty gun skins.
I bought.
Yeah.
I,
Animated skins.
I spent
Yeah,
$21
animated
on
skins.
it.
I bought one.
with Ninetale skin.
Yeah, I spent.
I bought a hat. I actually
yes,
bought a bunch
like,
of loot crates
If
for a hat.
if the Pokemon Unite skins were like based on wins with that character, that would be sweet.
Well, they actually do
Yeah.
offer like side
Yeah.
advantages.
I spent $90 on a mobile game.
I'm not going to be
They,
able to
certain
win
certain
the
skins
decisions
in
in
Pokemon Unite
Mr.
can offer you side advantages.
Hitboxes.
Wait, what?
I'll show you.
Like
Hold
what?
If you
I
pay
can blend
20,
in. I can
if
blend
you
in.
pay Nintendo $20 right now, you get extra side.
But yeah, I think we're gonna conclude it with that last question because that was the exact purpose of why I asked that one. So yeah, Caesar, Evan, Coda,
No,
Sean, Scott, Zach, say hi. Look at the camera for once.
Nope.
You were
he's looked at.
you look at the exact opposite direction. of the
Can we
camera.
say something for ending?
Yes.
I looked at it once.
Well,
Well, start recording now.
Seems we best be going then.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we finished our practice.
Bye-bye.
We can start recording.